Great. Sounds great. I'm going to start recording then. Okay, we're good there. Very professional testing I like to do. Bubba-dubba-dup is how I do it.
Bubba-dubba-dup.
Yep. Oh, you know what I didn't do yet? Holy shit. Hold on. Gosh dang it. You got to put the Fletchers in there for them to work.
Mm-hmm. Or the no Fletchers will play.
Yeah.
Must be Fletchers to play Fletchers.
Yeah. Okay, we don't have anything for that because we do music after, so I'll just put that there. And then we got to get one more of these. Okay, I think we got it.
Cool.
Sorry for the delay, everyone.
Here
comes the show. Here comes the show.
All right.
In 3, 2, 1.
Astrocade, the professional video game system that gives you 4-player capability, 3 built-in games, a calculator, and these new cartridges. Creative Crayon. Even the young can make beautiful pictures.
On the first day of Christmas, my true love sent to me a patry in a petri.
The morning stream. You have chosen poorly.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to TMS, a brand new week of the morning stream. It's Monday, December 14th. It is 2020 still, and I'm Scott Johnson. I'm here with Brian Ibbett. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Scott. How are you?
I'm fine. I
really must go, but baby, it's cold outside. The answer is no, but baby, it's cold outside.
You know he's either done that or it's coming, so don't tempt me. He's the TikTok account I sometimes regret following, but always try to capture when he does something real weird. And today was one of those days. So
on the first.
Don't worry, there's more later in the show. Anyway, hey, welcome back, everybody. We hope you had a nice weekend. I'm a little hyped up because I've got a little vitamin B in me. I got a little caffeine in me. I got a little... Yeah. Oh, and I got a T shot this morning. Oh, yeah, baby.
T shot and a T shot.
Yeah.
Low T now. Congratulations, you got TB.
Yep, I'm Mr. T. This is what's going on. And to treat your mother right, as Mr. T always told us. And it's good to be here. We're glad to be here. We're going to do a whole full show for you. We got all kinds of stuff, so stick around. All right. Here's a problem I've done. I've created a problem. Would you like to hear about my problem?
Oh, yes, I'd like to hear it. Tell me.
I don't know if it's a problem. I mean, I'm really happy that it's happening, but it's bad for me because it just seems crazy. So I kind of went on a bit of after season 4 of Fargo ended, I went on a bit of a binge back to season 2 because I wanted to take this thread line of the end of 4, which connects to 2 in a really interesting way. And I just kind of wanted to go back and fill that out again. So I did that, and I ripped through it and loved it. And then I went, oh man, I'm going to start 3 again. I'll eventually get back to 1 because I just haven't thought about going back there.
Yeah, you got to complete the set.
Yeah, I'll do that at some point, but I'm on this roll now of like continuity. So I start 3 and I get like 2 episodes in. And then my wife says, "What is that you're watching all the time?" I said, "Oh, it's Fargo. I don't know if you'd like it." She goes, "Well, you always say that, but I like the movie. Why don't we watch Fargo and you tell me if you like it?" I go, "Well, all right. You know what? Let's sit down and watch a couple episodes of season 1, see if you like it." She sits down, she watches 2 episodes of season 1 and becomes completely addicted to it. Can't stop, must binge, stay up till 1:30 in the morning that night.
Did she watch it originally the first time you guys watched it?
No, she's never seen it. It was the first time.
Oh, wow. Oh, and the first season's so good.
It is. All of it's good. So
it's all good. But I mean, you got Allison Tolman, Ted Danson.
No, he's season 2.
Or no, he was season 2. That's right, with Carrie Coon.
Yeah, no, season 3 was Carrie Coon.
Was it really? Jeez Louise. Yeah.
You're doing what I do sometimes. I mix them up all the time.
You've watched it in the last week. I've been watching it for like 4 years. So
no, it's a fair point. So we're watching season 1 and she gets completely hooked and we end up binging that thing in like a night. Like we watched all of it and it was like 2 something in the morning before we went to bed. Just completely it soaked ourselves into season 1 and she loved it. And I'm like, I'm loving her loving this. So I'm going to just stick around for the ride, even though I just finished season 2 last week, again, for like the third time. I am watching season 2 again with her. And it's fun to watch stuff through her eyes, and season 2 is my standout season. That's my favorite of all of them. I love them all, but I really love season 2. And she's completely hooked on season 2 now, of course. And we watched that way too late, although we're still a few episodes before we finish that. And then, before I know it, I'll be caught back up with my season 3 watch through again with her because, we're just going to catch up, and then we'll get to 4, and I'll see 4 again, even though it just ended.
You'll have watched at least 3 full seasons twice before this thing is over.
Yeah,
depending on
Can I tell you how glad I am?
Can
I tell you how glad I am that shows aren't 24 episodes long anymore? Because
season? some aren't.
Well, that's true. There is still stuff out there, but
Tina's gotten us on Blackish.
Is that a 24?
Which I always heard is really good, but it's a network. It's a network sitcom, so 23 episodes a season.
Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, if you're on a network, I think you still live by those rules.
You still live by those rules. Unless, I wonder if there's dramas. Blacklist probably does the same thing. It's probably 22, 23 full-hour episodes.
Which is weird to think, because if you take Fargo and add it all up, it's less than 1.5 seasons of a normal network show. But yet it's 4 seasons long. It's weird. It's weird how to think about it. That's why I always recommend people. They're like, "Oh, I'm so far behind." It's not a big deal. It's 10 episodes each. You just rip right through it. It's nothing.
Right.
Anyway,
hey, the ones I love are the BBC series. They're like 6 episodes and you're done. Or Sherlock. What is that? 3 episodes a season or something?
Yeah, you're not even. They're just like a movie. They give you a movie basically. A 3-hour movie.
They give you basically, it's like 2-hour episodes.
It's pretty nuts. Yeah, but
cool.
We're really enjoying it, and I just can't recommend it enough. And it's all I can do to stop myself from making references about it. Morning.
Which season is Mary Elizabeth Winstead? Swango?
3.
That's the third. Yeah, with Ewan McGregor and.
Yep, and she's amazing in it. And here's something I know to be true of all these seasons. They're all amazing, and everybody should watch it. It's my Mad Max Fury Road of television. It truly is. That's how I feel about it. And I know people are going to get sick of me talking about it, but I'm in the middle of it right now, so just deal with it. And then it got announced, I don't know if you saw this, but like a day ago, or 2 days ago, whatever it was, they announced that Noah Hawley got a multi-season deal with FX again to make an Aliens show. He's making a TV show about aliens.
Yes, an Alien series.
Yeah, we're talking like proper aliens, you guys, not like about aliens. We mean like Xenobite, freaking
like, Nostromo. Get away from her, you bitch. All that stuff.
Yeah, series. And this guy Noah Hawley, so far in my life, can do zero wrong. Everything he's touched has been gold. Clearly, they have confidence in him. This is a huge deal. I'm super stoked for a series treatment of the Aliens property from that guy in particular, because again, he takes things where you go, how's that going to work? And then it freaking works. So
how far did you get with Legion?
I'm still a season behind, but that's on next. That's happening next. Because I'm not now, since I'm all like into this now, I'm like, okay,
it's all Noah Hawley all the time until there's no more Noah left to.
He's my TV hero right now, and he's got a lot of other projects in the works. But the one hearing about the aliens thing just made me so excited. This is the reason, if you tell me, I don't know, Spielberg's making something, okay, it'll probably be good. Or somebody else, you say, oh yeah, it'll probably be good. But if you tell me like Denis Villeneuve is making a new movie, I know it'll be good. Like, I have it in my heart to know that dude knows me and what I want, right? So he can make Dune, and I freak out. Anyone else makes Dune, and I go, okay, we'll see how they do, right? He has proven himself, just like George Miller, the great George Miller has proven himself with Mad Max Fury Road. But Noah Hawley can do no wrong, so whatever. Stay in bed with FX, keep making rad stuff, and I'm watching all of it. All right? That's the deal. That's the deal right there. That's kind of what I'm talking. That's the deal, eh?
The deal, Wade.
Even my wife is starting to. Oh, here's the other thing. The other reason you got to watch through again. I thought I knew about all the little surface connections to other stuff, the movie, other seasons and things. There's so much more stuff. There's so much more. So much more. So you know about the Mike Milligan thing. I don't want to give anything away. You know about that. All right. So those are big, significant ones. But do you know? Okay. Do you remember in season 2 where our main dude Lou Solverson goes up to Sioux Falls and has to do this kind of joint task force thing to stop that massacre up there. And he has to work with that squirrely little mustache cop guy that works up in Sioux Falls or up in wherever he's at. Anyway, that little squirrely guy's last name is Schmidt. I'm watching season 3, and season 1, Old Man Lou, who's played by David Carradine, is talking to the he's talking to Colin Hanks, and he says, "Oh, where are you heading up to? Oh, we got to go up to Duluth and deal with I got to talk to Soda. Oh, yeah, I had a joint thing I had to do with him in Sioux Falls once. That was a rough couple of weeks or something like that." Makes some reference to the Schmidt guy. It's the same guy. It's Schmidt. He goes up there and meets as the same Schmidt. Now it's not the same actor, but this guy that looks just like Schmidt from season 1. So what that means in season 2, they picked a guy who looked a lot like season 1 Schmidt. And it was amazing. And then there's this other one. And in the 3rd season, the couple of episodes I got in, they're looking at some investment or something. The rich Ewan McGregor wants to make some new investment or something. That twin, and he goes, "Oh, we should pass this past Stan Grossman," he says. And I went, "Stan Grossman? Why is that name? What's that name? What's that name?" I go and I look it up. He's the guy that Wade had to have in every room to make a deal in the movie.
The first in the movie. Yeah, I was going to say the first movie. There's only been one movie. Feels like there's been multiple movies. But.
So he's like, Stan always knows the best deals, or Stan should look at this paperwork or whatever. It's that guy they're talking about. He's just old and like still doing investment shit. Like, I love it. Just all this continuity. It's so good. Collider has a Fargo timeline, but it's a written one. And I want to actually, it feels like this would be a perfect infographic to show the ribbons of the storylines of Fargo and how they interweave, and like this thing you see in season 4 happened in season 2, and they're here about in season 2, and blah blah blah. So I would love that.
Somebody needs to make that. I couldn't find one, but I'm just kind of glancing.
There could be some sort of YouTube-y, I don't know.
I'm sure there's a YouTube Fargo explained.
Yeah, something like that. And those and
then a reaction video. Fargo reaction to my explain video.
Fargo unboxing. Yeah, all that.
10 things wrong with the Fargo explainer video.
Have you seen, by the way, I don't know if you've really paid this much attention to it, but there are so many unboxing videos on YouTube that I'm starting to think the future of humanity has something to do with just unboxing everything. So
right?
much.
Yeah, like exactly. How did this civilization die? This weird Earth people. Oh, they just really too much cardboard from unboxing things, and
all that factory air trapped in the box they would expose themselves
exactly.
to. Yeah.
A weird factory air disaster sent out multiple boxes to people. They unboxed them live and
they all died.
Destroyed their whole race.
Stupid humans. Never forget. Always learn from the past. Anyway, so that's what's going on. I saw a picture of you with wings this weekend. I'd like you to explain.
I know. Well, Paul McCartney wasn't touring with them right now. And,
okay.
I hung out with Denny Lane and he's the only person from Wings besides Paul and Linda that I can name. But still, I could name one person from Wings.
Yeah. I don't think I could have. By the way, I couldn't have done that, so you're good.
We went to Wonder, which is an art installation we've been to before. We went there as a mystery date. I took Tina there, I think back in February. And basically, it's an art installation in Boulder, Colorado. I think they've got one in Kansas City as well, with multiple rooms. And each room is decked out and decorated with some weird artistic style. So like one room at the one here was all neon. And then there was one that like was a pink Christmas tree with a fake fireplace and stuff like that. And the idea
this is the one where you went into the fridge or the dryer or whatever?
No, that was in New Mexico. That's Meow Wolf.
Okay, all right.
That was...
Sorry, continue on. I thought it was the same place for some reason. But
Nope, different thing. But basically they're made for you to kind of get in and take pictures inside these art pieces. Kind of, it is like an Insta backdrop exhibit with rotating rooms. I mean, this is like there's one room that is all LPs and singles mounted on the wall.
Oh, weird. That's cool. Oh yeah, there it is. They just showed a picture of it on the site. That's awesome.
Yeah. And I've been using that as a Facebook profile pic for a while. But we needed some Christmas cards. they've been doing some really good things as far as social distancing. It used to be, hey, we'll fit as many people in here as we can, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And you were kind of waiting for somebody to be done with, you've gone through almost all the rooms, and there are like 2 rooms that you're waiting to get into, and like they're the most popular ones, and people are constantly in there. They've stripped it down. So in the place with 12 rooms, 6 people maximum at a time in there, in the whole building. And they're following you around with wipes and Clorox spray and stuff like that to clean anything that you might have touched. Masks are on the whole time, except for when you're taking a picture. It's like snap, snap. All right, put the mask back on. So they've got some really cool like neon stuff with neon in the rooms. They've got some really cool like a whole room that's hanging white lights.
Oh, that's cool.
It's like vertical bars. So you see, when you go somewhere in the back of the room and have the picture taken, you've got all these out of focus, in focus lights and things all around you.
Here,
it's
Chad,
really,
I'm
really
going to show you Brian with the wings. So these are chalk wings or whatever, right? Like,
chalk wings. So it is actually on a chalkboard. It isn't painted. So they have a sign, please don't lean against the chalkboard.
Yeah, you don't want to smudge that around. So that is really intriguing to me, because it means somebody had to come in there and make some really cool, intricate art for then you to stand in front of. And
yeah,
I mean, clearly that's meant for you to take a picture in front of, right? Like that's the whole
It
idea.
totally is. I mean, everything in there is meant for you to take a picture in front of. It's an art installation. It's a selfie gallery disguised as an art studio.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it. Sure. I like that.
Yeah.
I mean, they
it's
promote
made-
that
it's
on the
made
site.
for-
That whole front video they show on their site is just girls walking through there taking selfies. So
Yeah. And there were, we saw 2 of the 6 people that were in there at the same time. As there might have only been 2 other people, but it was a couple of girls who looked like that, who just basically had a camera, the phone holder on a tripod, and they'd sit in front of it and like do a little timer and go, and then, peace signs or whatever. And then move on to the next one. It wasn't too far from what we were doing. I have a camera holder, a phone holder that the edge is kind of shaped like a SLR camera body to kind of give it more heft.
Yeah.
And there's a Bluetooth button on it where the normal shutter button would be on a regular SLR camera.
Oh, that's cool.
And that thing even pops off, so you can leave the camera on a stand and have this little tiny button that you can kind of, have in your hand as you've got your arm around Tina and click the button without anybody telling that you're clicking the button.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Did anyone say this out loud?
Let me take a selfie.
Did that happen?
Yes, I said that every time.
Okay. You did. So then it sounded like this.
Take a selfie. Let me take a selfie.
Take a selfie.
Take a selfie. Take a selfie.
I keep forgetting I have that one. Well, all right. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fun. Wonder, and I think there's a couple of them across the country. Boulder for sure, and then I think Kansas City. There's another one. I don't know if there's.
That's where the Kansas City mob is. They're going to try to get the Gerhardts in. Oh wait, you've brought me back to Fargo.
One other thing I didn't put in the show notes, but this weekend, maybe partially inspired by the Great British Bake Off, or just because I've always wanted to do it, I made a gingerbread house from scratch.
Oh, nice.
No Target. We're gonna give you all the pieces. You just glue them together and blah blah blah. No, this was like from scratch. And
you have pictures.
Let me tell you something. I can send you a photo and you can put it up on the deal.
Please share that.
On the deal, we'll give you a photo. You can put up on the deal.
I need to be made aware of any arts and crafts that Brian's involved in.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Send it to your text message. I think you can pull it up into
perfect.
the thing from there.
That's perfect.
That feels like the fastest. So here's the thing about gingerbread, at least the recipe that I was working with.
Yeah.
It is like tar, especially the warmer it gets, the stickier. The more you work with it, the stickier it gets. So you basically, here's what we did. I had 2 separate discs of dough wrapped tightly in plastic.
Okay.
Put one in the freezer. The other one is the one we roll out, and we have to roll it out between 2 sheets of parchment because it will stick to the roller. It'll stick to whatever you roll it on.
Right.
So between 2 sheets of parchment, roll it out. And then I figured out you cannot, like if you're cutting a wall shape out, you can't like, all right, I'm going to cut that little square and then I'm going to use a spatula to pull that piece off of the parchment. No, because it will deform and bend and go nuts. So what I did is I cut everything. I cut the shapes I wanted out, and then I pulled all the other gingerbread off of that piece of parchment paper and put that piece of parchment paper in the oven, baked it, making sure to leave room between pieces that I didn't want to stick together.
Sure.
And
wow. Sounds like a pain in the ass, but
and then you wad that one up, wrap it in plastic, stick it in the freezer, pull the other piece out, roll it out, cut some pieces, put the remnants back in the freezer, get the other one out, and yeah, it's nuts. The decorating is fun though, and using a piping bag and all that stuff is kind of a blast.
I'm just picturing you do it, and there's something jolly about that. There's something jolly about Brian putting that together. I picture you.
It's fun. I've never done one of those before, and it's the royal icing gluing of the pieces together is the most time consuming part, because you've got the front of the house and the side of the house, right? Yeah. You like slather a crap ton of royal icing on there, and it's getting all over everything. But the cool thing is, it looks like snow melting and ice and stuff like that.
Did you okay, let's say you did this and you presented it in the technical challenge portion of
yes, right,
season of the Great British Bake Off. What does Paul Hollywood say about your house?
Once he stops laughing, he says, well, your flavors are really good. It's a little rustic, isn't it? What were you going for here? And he doesn't pull his hands out of his pockets during the entire time that he's talking to
me. That's pretty dead on, actually. Yeah. I'm impressed.
What were you going for here?
Yeah, did you wrap it in plastic?
Wrapped in plastic.
Listen, it's still far better. I'd say this would get higher marks than the David Bowie cake somebody tried to create in the actual Great British Bake Off this last season.
Yeah, that was, whoo, that one. That was a rough one.
It's like, wow. David Bowie. Yeah. That's David Bowie. Okay, I guess I see the lightning bolt on his face, but sure.
That's about it. I really like that kid who I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
I really like those people this year. Put it that way.
We just watched the Dairy Girls season.
Oh,
or the Dairy Girls episode.
Yeah, what'd you think of that?
Well, I'm halfway through the second season of Dairy Girls. I don't know how many seasons there are on Netflix, but halfway through that. But
2, I think.
Number one, I love that series, and number two, having those people. I won't say girls, because one of the Dairy Girls is a boy.
Yep.
Having them on.
I love that guy.
Great British Bake Off was hilarious too. Saoirse Monica is just delightful.
Isn't it great?
As much of as a horrible person as she plays on Dairy Girls.
Yeah, she's so good. Everybody's great, and it's so like. That's the other thing, is it happens right around. I mean, they're kind of our age, is what they're showing.
Right.
A little bit younger,
80s,
but
90s, yeah.
Early 90s, late 80s, and it's what I like about it is I feel like I'm watching a thing that I totally relate to, even though this is a completely different country. They're in the thick of like the Northern Irish mess.
And they don't shy away from talking about any of the IRA stuff. It plays such a huge part in a comedy. You've got, marches, the Protestants versus the Catholic marches, and the orange and the green, and the
all the bombings and stuff. Like, it was just like, you know what it is? It's like this great lesson of all of this is happening on the outside, but life goes on, and it goes on in this particular way for these particular people. Even though that defines much of their world, the world they still have to go every day and do a thing, and it's done in a comedic way. But I really appreciate that juxtaposition of big conflict but small lives. It really worked for me. I loved that. It was really good.
Great,
it's really
absolutely
really good.
Great.
Well, good. Look at Brian getting caught up on the recommendals. I'd have done some more recommendals from you as well, had I not watched 400 episodes of
back
Fargo.
To Fargo. Yeah.
I mean, that theme song's burned into my face. I'm hearing it right now. Like, all the time I hear the theme song. I love that song. Anyway.
And if I haven't talked enough, Scott, I'm going to talk a little bit more and let people know that we are now accepting applications for season 3 of America's Next Top Podcaster, which, if all goes according to plan, we'll start recording in January. Here's the other thing. We've upped the maximum time you could have been podcasting. Like, we used to really focus, the first 2 seasons focused a lot on amateurs. and we still want amateurs. But
you guys were amateurs. Now we're moving to the pros. Okay,
that's right. What we want, honestly, is a combination of amateurs and pros, because I want to see if amateurs who haven't fallen into bad habits from creating their own podcasts do better than people who've been doing this for a long time and maybe can't work with a team or can't get out of the ruts that they've been working on for such a long time. So
I like that concept. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
so what do they do? How do they get in?
They go to americasnexttop.podcaster.com, and right there on the homepage, just under the beautiful photo of yours truly, is is a link to the application form. You fill it out and link me to some audio that you've done before, just so I can hear how you sound and hear your level of confidence and competence and all that other stuff. And like that's even like we even care about that. I mean,
no, we don't care about that.
Listen to who we've had on our seasons.
Exactly. And plus, look, remember, I'm a judge. Jury's back judging. Who we have?
Jenny Josephson.
Oh, Jenny, that's right. She's returning. Yeah. That's fantastic. So
yeah, and you've fallen into, without even trying, because it's Jenny and Justin, you've kind of fallen into our Paula Abdul.
Yeah, I'm Paula Abdul.
Pumping people up role. Yeah,
that's right. I'm Paula Abdul. I'm kind of trying to think of her hot song. Can't think of it.
Straight up.
Straight up,
opposites
now
attract.
No, that's the one. Straight up. That's what I was thinking of. Which is how I take my. I was going to make a drink joke, but I don't drink, so I don't know how to do it. But anyway, these are some hard judges, man, coming to the paint, ready to roll, and you guys better be ready.
I mean, it's a podcast reality show that tries to be as friendly as Bake Off. That's what I model it after. I don't try to do the, ooh, let's pit these two against each other for some real drama kind of stuff. I want,
usually real drama
we want
comes
everybody to be successful when they come out of this.
Yeah, and the drama usually comes from Jury saying something that's, a little harsh. But other than that, that's just his job. It's fine. He's harsh jury number one. Okay?
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Well, looking forward to that.
AmericasNextTopPodcaster.com.
Yes, go sign up. We don't care how good or old or whatever you are. Age has nothing to do with
it. Age is just a number.
We don't care if you're weird. In fact, I'd prefer it. I love weirdos. So more weirdos, please. Just as many weirdos as we can fit. All right, we're going to see if Dunaway's around. If he is, we're going to play a game. Even if he's not, we'll figure out a way to do it. But his status is currently a half moon. Nope, there he is, and I'm playing this.
Half moon.
Hey, it's Brian Dunaway joining us all the way from South Carolina, and as always, a participant in today's Babble Royale / whatever the heck it's going to be called today. I don't actually know.
It's Babble Royale today.
Okay, nice. Welcome to the show, Brian. Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi, Scott and Brian. How are you guys?
Oh, we're fine. We're fine. I have to
super nifty
to turn you down.
Wow, such snark. I'm not believing either one of you.
Well, it's hard to believe either one of us is what I always say.
Believe that.
Wow, so what happened just since yesterday when we did the best film sack of all time?
Oh, did we? Did we really? Can you grade that as our best that we ever did? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yes, the most recent one is always the greatest one you did.
I don't know. I still get emails
Marketing
about
101.
What's the one we always get emails about that people still talk
Krull.
about?
Everybody loves Krull as the first
not
episode.
Krull. It's something
People
else.
love Krull? No, they don't.
No, they love
You're
our
right.
Krull
We were
episode.
calling me Bibby. It was all weird. There was weird stuff happening in that whole episode.
I tend to agree. We were, we didn't know what we were doing yet. We were workshopping in real time.
Minority Report is the #1 episode we ever did.
I think we still get a lot of comments.
But what does
on
it mean? What does it mean?
What does it mean?
'Cause
What does all the water mean, you stupid Spielberg weirdo?
If we've ever had a moment on the show where anybody got heated, which really never happens, but I think that's as close as we got to a heated argument, and it was me and Dunaway really squaring off on that. And if you haven't heard it,
that was okay because we did that all the way back on Extra Life Radio.
Yeah, we did. That was our job. That's what we did. Every week we pounded it out. The little bald guy from Brazil. It was great. All right. Hey, check it out.
From Brazil. Love it.
We're going to go ahead and dive in, but we need a caller, and we have one. He's on the line, he or she, and we're going to find out who it is. Hi, thanks for holding. Who's this?
Hey, this is Logan, Dreadnecks and Tadpole.
Dreadnecks. Always good to have Dreadnecks on, man. How the heck are you today? Doing all right?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. Brian, why don't you explain to Dreadnecks how this works and what he could win?
I'll do that exact thing. I'll give Scott and Brian a topic. They're going to go back and forth giving me answers that fit that topic. If one of them gives a wrong answer, repeated answer, or they take too long to come up with an answer, the win will go to the other player. Logan, your job is to predict who's going to come out on top based on the topic. Today, you are playing for a prize package that includes Evoland Legendary Edition and Generation Zero on Steam, courtesy of Wesley, as well as a copy of the podcasting audiobook by Bill Meeks. Learn how to podcast without being a contestant on a podcasting reality show, which would be a lot more fun.
Yeah. And you can, by the way, there's no rules. You could totally read that book and apply for
both.
the thing.
Oh, man, the advantage that you would have if you listen to this audiobook before you were on ANTP would be crazy.
It's almost illegal at this point.
Almost, it just almost should not be allowed. Yes. All right. You need a topic. This one comes to us from Preston, a.k.a. BioCow, programmer and great guy extraordinaire.
As opposed to Cyber Cow? Is that a thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll mention that.
Electro Cow. Sure.
Tim Burton and Danny Elfman are two huge names in Hollywood, although they stand alone very well on their own. They have famously collaborated on 16 movies. Can you name those movies? The game might be a bit difficult. I don't want to say. He gives a little bit of a clue in his next sentence, and I don't think I want to do it because...
that's totally fine, because I don't think it sounds very difficult. I think it sounds great. Their collaborations
That sounds straightforward so far, unless there's some trickiness.
Yeah.
Might be trickiness. Might be trickiness. All right, so
great.
There you go. That is your topic, and now it's time for Dreadnecks to decide who he thinks is going to win and who he wants to go first.
What do you say, Logan?
Oh, this is a tough one. I'm going to go with Scott to win. I will also let Scott start because I think I let Brian start last time.
That'll mess you up. The starting is important. People don't realize that's a massive part of this game. Okay, well, I'll start then. Brian, these are, once again, just for my own clarity,
Tim Burton and Danny Elfman collaborations. Tim Burton directed movies featuring Danny Elfman compositions.
Never Danny Elfman directed.
No.
And Tim Burton doing the music.
Right. None of those. Don't include any from that massive list.
Yeah, it's a huge list. It's just an unending list. Okay, we're going to go with, let's start with an easy one in my head, which is Edward Scissorhands.
Ooh, Edward Scissorhands. 1990s Edward Scissorhands. Absolutely. We're off to the races.
Now, we've talked about this in the past, and I don't want you to give me no crap, so I'm going to use it up first. Not technically directed by Tim Burton. The Nightmare Before Christmas.
It was directed by him.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
No.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't.
Okay, I know what you're doing. He's having an art fart here about whose hands were on what puppets and all that, and who the real creative minds were.
Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, but he is not actually.
Yes, I know Henry Selick had everything to do with it, all right? I love that guy. He's one of my heroes. However, he's still credited as director. You get this one right.
He's credited as producer. We're not giving it to, but it's a mulligan. So
it's not. He's not on there as a director.
I used it first.
He's not technically the director. No,
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm nervous.
Well, you should get nervous, Scott Johnson.
All right, well, there goes your mulligan.
I'm gonna go with there's so many. Then just I like them all. I just got a few of them as well. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay. I'm gonna go.
Sandbag, take time. Burn the candle both ends.
Stall a vamp. Is that what you're gonna do? Yeah.
No, I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to think of what Scott's gonna say. All right. You know what? I'm going to go with ones that I think Scott would say. I think Scott would say Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I think Scott would get that one.
I forgot about that one.
I'm going to go ahead and try to grab that one.
2005's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Deep Roy walking around being an Oompa Loompa, a bunch of them.
All the Oompa Loompas.
It was all the Oompa Loompas. That is absolutely a Burton Elfman collaboration.
All right, let's go back in time a little bit and do a little Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Oh, I didn't think you would do that one. I was saving that one for later.
Pee-wee's
That's right. Their first collab, 1985, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
All right.
Who's on my mic?
Mr. Herbert. Mr. Herbert.
Mr. Herbert. Mr. Herbert. All right, fine then. Fine. If we're going to do that one, then I'm just going to go with The Corpse Bride. Now, he did actually direct that one.
He did actually direct that one. 2005's Corpse Bride. Yep, absolutely on the list as Burton.
And a much underrated.
I think it's rated. It's fine. It's good. I like it. All right, let's go with one I haven't seen and always kick myself in the butt for having not seen it yet. And that is the name just left me. The with the horse and the head, no head.
The horse and the no head.
Not the Headless Horseman. That's not the movie.
Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, the Ichabod Crane movie. Yeah, just call it that.
Sleepy Hollow, 1999 Sleepy Hollow, I think.
1999 Sleepy Hollow, exactly.
Wow,
right.
You're going with the dates too. That's better than me.
I just remember that coming out and being disappointed that I hadn't seen it, and I still have not seen it. So I'd love to see it one day. It's supposed to be.
I think it features Helena Bonham Carter and.
Oh, weird, weird.
Yeah, weird that she's in that, huh?
Yeah,
weird.
All right, brother.
I'm going with Alice in Wonderland.
Who's Allison?
Alice in Wonderland. I just picked up the 3D version of this Ibbits.
Did you really? Yeah.
I
And you
did.
give me crap about having the special edition of the Abyss?
I didn't give you crap. I gave you crap for giving me crap. That's not the same thing.
Yeah, because you have the 3D version of Alice in Wonderland is why I'm giving you crap. 2010, Alice in Wonderland, absolutely on the list.
Okay. I will now mention my favorite Tim Burton film.
Oh, okay.
The one that I think sets itself apart from all his other work and stands as a freaking amazing, wonderful movie. And that movie is, hold on, Big Fish. Big Fish.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
2003.
Tall Tales.
Love
That's right.
Big Fish.
The Tales of
Ewan
Tallness.
McGregor, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ewan McGregor.
Yep.
That guy's name was
Helena Bonham Carter, is she in that one?
Yes, she is.
She's
She's totally
think?
in that. It's an
plays the big
amazing
fish.
film. It is so not
That
like
makes
his
me
normal stuff. It's like he finally just said, you know what? It doesn't need to be so wackadoo. I'm going to actually just do this cool thing.
It's
so
kind
good.
of his straight story.
Kind of, yeah.
Right.
Except it's still fantastical in some ways. You know, like it still goes places, but I don't know. There's so much heart in it. It's a fantastic movie. So good. Anyway.
Okay.
So much part.
Ian?
Well, if Scott's not going to say Alice Through the Looking Glass, I could pick that one up as well as it was a 2-pack. I'm going to go with that one.
Was that also in 3D?
It wasn't 3D. It was a 2-pack. I just told you that. Jeez.
Jeez,
David, don't you
2-pack.
listen?
Well,
Wait,
No, but I knew it came in the same box as the other one, but I
Right.
didn't know if it was
Yeah. How do we know these things, Mr. Brainiac
like
over
if
there?
it was 3D. Like, you know, why go through the effort of making one in 3D and not making the other one in 3D?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What the heck, man?
Borat was in that one. He was the watchmaker,
He was
right? Isn't that
Alice.
how that went?
He was
Yeah, no, he
Alice.
was the watchmaker.
He was a very convincing Alice.
Hi, my name's Alice.
My name
Is that
is
right?
Alice.
You're the
I'm
looking
getting confused.
glass.
Now I'm getting that one, and Bonham Carter and Borat is the couple in what movie was that?
Don't say
We
it.
saw that
Okay,
recently.
so
You should totally say it out loud.
No.
But you know what? You won't get a chance because Alice Through the Looking Glass was directed by James Bobbin.
Oh, really?
Yep.
James Bobbin.
Incorrect.
I guess
sir.
that's
I mean,
right.
correct that Brian's correct, but you are incorrect.
Oh.
Well
I
done,
wanted
Brian.
I knew it wasn't on my list, but I wanted to find out who the actual director was. Good old James or Bobbin. Bobbin.
Yeah, you know
Jones.
James Bowman. So I was gonna. Can I name off a couple others I had?
Yes, of course.
Ed Wood, I believe. They
Of
collaborated.
course. Actually, no Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. No.
Yeah.
Elfman didn't do the music for Ed Wood.
Elfman did not do the music
No.
for Ed Wood.
Oh my gosh, I was about to lose.
Was that going to be your very next
That
one?
was my very next thing. That means had he
And you
switched
know what?
orders, had he
I
switched
should
order,
have went.
I was screwed if he switched order.
I should have went with the safe ones because I was going to say Batman, but I was afraid
Batman,
Scott
for
was going to take. Yeah, I figured he'd take the other one, so I didn't want to give him anything.
Well,
Yeah, Batman Returns, both Elfman and Burton. Beetlejuice, Mars Attack.
Oh, wait. Planet of the Apes, right. Oh, shit. Okay.
Dark Shadows, which is, I think they're only... Is that a movie or was that a TV? I guess it was a movie based on a TV show.
Yeah, it was a movie, yeah.
Movie based on a soap opera about vampires. Frankenweenie, Big Eyes, and Dumbo from 2019, as well as the recently announced Beetlejuice 2.
Oh, what?
Interesting.
Is that happening?
I didn't know Elfman did Frankenweenie, though.
Yes, he absolutely did.
Beetlejuice 2. Hold on to your butts. I want to see who's in this already, if they've already cast it.
Gina Davis is reprising her role is still dead.
Oh, good. Yeah, they haven't. There's no cast yet.
No casting information. Yeah,
I'm very curious about that. That's interesting.
But it is. But the fact that Tim Burton is involved, it's like, all right, I feel good about it. But
you could have Gina Davis and old Alec Baldwin. They're grandparents now, and you can have.
Why would they get older? They were dead.
Yeah, they would be. How
Wouldn't they continue to be old?
Yeah. Oh, right. They can't.
It actually, you've already seen it. It's called Stranger Things. Winona Ryder grows up.
Oh, they'll just show how it's all connected. I like it. Yeah. That's fantastic. All right. Well, there you have it. We did it. That means that we have a winner among us, and we play this when we do that.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Dreadnex, aka Logan, you're in good. You made the right choices today. How does it feel to know that these prizes will soon be yours?
So great. Always let Scott go first is the lesson I'm taking.
Yeah, that's the rule. I'm serious. I would have lost if
it's like let the Wookiee win. It's a house rule.
Yeah, well done. All you got to do to make this happen for you in your life is to send Brian an email, coverville@gmail.com. He will send you your prizes as always. And thanks for playing. You were awesome. Brian Dunaway, what do you think about all that? How you feel there, buddy?
Well, I feel like we got to go back and watch part 2 of Alice, because I could have swore that was Tim Burton. I guess it makes sense.
It's Tim Burton-esque, right? Because it's
absolutely
not everybody I used esque.
For the record, right. Well, I mean, one of my favorite. Oh, go ahead.
And one of the reasons why I knew, just recently we watched the movies Who Made Us. And Nightmare Before Christmas is one of the subjects and stuff, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot about Tim Burton not directing that.
Well,
they kind of left my mind.
That's what I was just going to say. Like in my head, he directed it, but I think it's because those are his characters. They're based on sketches he did when he was in college and high school.
Right.
Like,
and it's literally called Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas. So
exactly.
you think, oh,
it is a very confusing and misleading. There was an episode of, I know there was the holiday movies that made us. I haven't watched that yet, but
that's the one we watched.
Yeah. There's also one of the Disney prop culture. Disney Plus prop culture episodes that talks about it, and they go back and they look at all the original animatronics and things like that. That curly Q hilltop that Jack stands on.
Mm-hmm. Right.
They showed how all that is operated. Like it's an actual they still have that thing, and they can like extend it and roll it up, unfurl it. And stuff.
Cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool. Now so another quick shout out to Henry Selick. I'm going to put a photo up for the chat to see this picture of him. And I'll put it in our group or thing as well, because I want you guys to see just how cool
What's it look like?
Look at this guy. That is a
You always do this to me.
Oh, wait,
that's Henry Selick?
That's Henry Selick right there.
It's funny because I always picture him a lot older. Like,
does he look like Tom Selleck? Does he have a mustache?
He's pretty old. He was born in 52, so what does that make him? 60. I mean, he's late 60s, right? Something like that.
Well, bordering 70.
Yeah. He's got some stuff in the works even, including something called Wendell and Wild, which I don't know what that is, but I'm all in. And if you've never seen Coraline, you're insane. Watch Coraline.
Coraline is one of my favorites of all time. It just gets better and better every year. Also, have it in 3D. Whatever. I'm just saying.
Of course you do. James and the Giant Peach, also fantastic.
Those are the right movies to have in 3D, by the way. Like animated 3D. Yes. Stop motion or Pixar kind of stuff. If you're gonna get a movie on 3D, those are the ones that do it the best.
That's because those are not post-processed 3Ds.
Right,
those are 3Ds rendered in the applications, and they look fantastic.
Built in 3D, not shoehorned into 3D.
That's right.
Easy to add
Excel.
A second camera to that.
They
software.
import it into Word. They knock it out to 365 Office.
Word. I use mine Excel spreadsheet because you need those.
Fantastic.
Two columns. Two columns.
Listen to this. Matrix. There's some good news, everybody. I got some great news. Breaking news. Today at 3:30 Mountain Time, me and Brian Dunaway, this guy right here from South Carolina, will be doing a show called The Boop Show. It's a video game show where we talk about cool video games that we played the previous week and make all kinds of recommendations around those games. We've each got a big pick this week, and we're really excited to bring that to you. So check it out if you haven't before, or download it on your favorite podcast listener app, whatever you're using, or watch us live.
Listener app.
You can you can watch us live if you want. It's today at 3:30 Mountain Time here at frogpants.tv, or you can get the podcast at frogpants.com/BOOP. And probably next week, we haven't talked about this, but next week, which would be our last one before Christmas, I think.
Yeah.
We should do our pick for
Game of the year.
Our favorite thing we played in the year. Not one of these contests where it's like, oh, of all the games that came out, here are the best. We're saying of the games we played.
You and me are on the same page, Scott Johnson, because I hadn't talked to you about it either, but I was thinking about it on the way to work. I was like, we should really do ones we've only played, because we played so many indie games.
Oh, so many.
It would be,
so many.
Yeah.
So we're going to pick them. We're going to tell you about them. But today, regular old episode, cool stuff coming up, so check that out. Brian, anything else you want to say?
I think you covered it today. I always like hanging out with you guys, in 2 days in a row. That's plenty.
That's right.
Cut me out of here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
That's the best. Wait, what?
Well, all right. Well, you have a good day and go chew your own nipple. Bye. All right. He's gone. Don't ever chew your own
That's a feat of strength, or a feat of agility.
Yeah, it's an agility roll plus 20. You get a plus 20 on every roll.
Right.
Which doesn't exist in D&D. Anyway, hey, we did it. Now let's move on. What time is it? Oh, shit. We don't have a ton of time, but we'll have a little time, so we're going to do this.
Good morning, everybody. In the news this morning, good morning.
It's time for the news, and it's brought to you by...
There's never been a better time to play World of Warcraft. I'm going to go play it right now. There's more. And if you need a companion podcast to make sense of the new expansion and everything around it, look no further than The Instance at theinstance.net. Get it wherever you get your podcasts. That's The Instance.
That's right. Some good stuff happening on that show.
Explain. So what's Soul Ash versus Anima?
Well,
versus
Soul Ash can only be acquired if you go run through Torghast, and there's a cap to it. So if you keep going, you're only going to have so much Soul Ash. So probably just want to pace yourself. And then Anima you get by extracting it from your anus.
It's Anima.
Anima. All right, first story here, maybe last. We'll see how long this takes.
Okay.
Honeybees in the news. Everyone loves bees, and we always need an excuse for a title with bees in the word, or in the name. Honeybees use poop power to repel hornet invaders. Just discovered. This is scientists have just observed that Asian honeybees collect chicken feces, not their own poo.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
They go get the
wielding
chicken
the power of other animals' poop.
Yep. Foul poo is what they get.
Yeah, it really is too.
They also depends on what they have access to, but they will do these three things: collect chicken feces, buffalo dung, which is also feces, but hey, it's an article and you got to change your words around.
Got to use the right word for the right poop.
That's right, and it says, and even human urine. Then smear it all around the entrances of their nests to stop attacks from marauding giant hornets. The pungent practice is the first documented case of honeybees collecting non-plant material. And in the first clear example that they can use it as a tool, or use a tool in general. In this case, it's just excrement, but they're still using it like a tool, which is strange in the insect kingdom. There's other examples, but they're rare.
This is how we keep solicitors away from our door, by the way. We employ the same thing. Human urine,
dung,
buffalo dung, and chicken shit money.
What do you find works the best when you're trying to repel?
It's really a combination of all three, but you really gotta lean heavily on the buffalo dung. It's probably like a 50-25-25 ratio.
Yeah, I could see that. Now I have to play this because you said it.
Chicken shit money.
All right, had that heading. Anyway, that's
I don't know if that's a lot of money or not very much money. What is that a positive or a negative?
I don't know. Depends on if you're a bee. If you're a bee, that's a lot of money. Anyway, this is their way of physically shielding their colonies, performing synchronized body shakes and wave-like displays, hissing, and other stuff that they do. They also envelop intruders in a ball until they overheat. So they have a lot of methods that they use, but now their first line of defense is poo and pee.
Their ultimate is OP.
Swarm, they say. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back from this, we're going to spend some time with our old pal Bill. It's getting close to Christmas, so we're going to wonder what he's making for under his tree. Probably making his own tree. Anyway, so that'll come up soon. Then we got Steven here, and we've got a lot to talk about Steven with, so get ready for that. because big announcements were made last week before we had a chance to talk about them. So we'll get to all that in a second. Before that, though, a song presented by Brian Ibbett Industries.
Ask for it by name. Let's go up to Milwaukee for this one. A band called the Keystones. If you're a fan of Stone Temple Pilots, I think you'll like these guys a lot. They rock. And come on, Milwaukee, the best rock and roll comes from Milwaukee, doesn't it? Come on.
Milwaukee. It's more like Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. I mean, the electric guitar came from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, or Waukesha, Wisconsin, I should say.
Sure.
These guys are great. They went through a major change in July when they brought in a brand new lead vocalist, Raven Burdett. He's a proficient recording multi-instrumentalist, and he's received Tommy Award and Jimmy Award nominations. He's also performed on Broadway and numerous theaters throughout the Midwest. So the guy's got some pipes. You're going to hear him right now. Here is the band, the Keystones, with their brand new single, Cut to the Chase.
The Incredible Wizard has a dungeon of surprises for you. You can even create your own games with Astrocade Basic, the easy computer teaching cartridge. Astrocade, the home entertainment sensation that's a personal computer, too.
On the second day of Christmas, my true love sent to me to turtle dust.
The Morning Stream. Why, oh, why did I take the blue pill?
All right, we're back, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Brian, again, that band, just for the...
That band, the Keystones, and the song is Cut to the Chase.
Hey, I'd like to remind folks at home who listen to the show and are going, hey, how do I support this big, weird show? Well, you can do it at Patreon, patreon.com/TMS. It is how we proceed with the daily goings-on here at TMS, and it literally keeps the lights on and the radio waves happening. So check it out if you haven't before, and become a member at a very low level. Even $1 a month will get you some rad stuff, including daily content you can't get anywhere else. That's patreon.com/TMS. All right, we're going to call our buddy Bill.
Let's do that.
Bill Duran. He's a punished props thing. And he is going to join us now, and we're going to talk about cool stuff. So check it out. I'm going to play his thing. Where is it?
Your bat cave's open there, Bill.
Hey, check it out. It's Bill Duran. Bill, what's up?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I a couple weeks ago watched an old movie, one of my favorites from growing up, starring Jim Carrey. That movie.
It was Punch Drunk Love. No, it was that was a different one. Truman Show.
Did you watch
Liar.
No. Liar.
I didn't make
No. Okay.
If
Yes
I made
Man. Watch Yes Man.
if I made a prop from the Truman Show, what would I make from that movie?
A sailboat. Duh.
Ed Harris's hat. Come on now.
That weird hodgepodge face that he made of the girl that he met that one time.
Yeah. What's her name's eyes? They're always really wide. I can't think of her name.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'll break the suspense. I made the mask from the movie The Mask.
Oh, Mask.
This is so cool.
The Mask, because Mask is very different.
Right. He didn't make Rocky Dennis.
No. Oh, man. Because the sheriff thing you could make next to the epic. All right. No, that's cool. So, boy, I'm trying to even picture that thing. I guess I'm going to now because I'm going to go to your site.
Yeah.
Tell us about your thinking there. What was that all about?
Sure. So that was one of my favorite movies growing up. Like I said, I watched a couple of weeks ago. It's still great. The animation of the Mask character is awesome.
Yeah.
I was watching a breakdown of it a few weeks ago, and they do all of the things you would see in traditional animation, like squashing and stretching. All the principles of animation are in there. They did such a good job with it. Anyway, I decided to make the pre-transformation mask, because you could make that green face. You could sculpt and mold and cast it like a silicone appliance for someone to wear, but that's not really my forte. I make things like masks and helmets and stuff. So anyway, it's supposed to look like wood and metal. I found some really good reference images for one of the screen-used masks. My guess is that they made several for the movie. They probably sculpted the original out of clay, and they made a mold so they cast different copies out of different materials. The one that I found was the one in the scene in the beginning where they open a treasure chest underwater and it floats to the surface. So they probably cast it out of something that's, buoyant.
Sure.
And I imagine they cast other ones throughout the movie that were more durable or heavier or whatever, and then just painted them up. Or they could have cast one out of rubber. They needed a stunt one that they were going to throw, and they didn't want to hurt anyone. So anyway, I made mine out of foam because that's how I roll. I also wrote 3 books about making things out of foam. So
of course you're going to do it that way. Yeah.
Kind of my jam. And the Foamsmith 3, our newest book, is all helmets and masks and stuff. So it was perfect. I made the mask using, of course, techniques from that book. And it wasn't even very much foam. So if folks are looking for a fun foamsmithing project to dip their toes into that world, this would be a really good one.
Yeah.
I made a pattern. That pattern's free over on our website if you want to download it and try and give it a shot yourself. And I used that pattern to cut all of my pieces out of flat foam and then, of course, glue them all together like I usually do.
Right. I was going to say the techniques for getting the roundness and the curvatures and all that stuff, again, basic foam stuff you've been doing forever, and it's certainly in those books, but
especially the bevel around the eyes and stuff.
Oh,
I mean,
look at this Dremel
this looks
business.
amazing.
Yeah, look at that.
Thank you. Yeah. So with that part, I used my bandsaw. Depending on the bandsaw you have, you might be able to tip the bed of the saw. So when you cut those pieces out, they have a perfect angle cut on them above a bevel that doesn't change. Sometimes when you cut it by hand, something like that, your knife may wander a little bit and the angle may change a little bit. But I used the bandsaw and that worked really well. And I'm glad you pointed out the eyes because I am very happy with how those eyes turned out.
Yeah, they look like carved out wooden eyes. There's a roughness to it. That obviously that's important and on purpose here, but it really adds to the look of that thing. It looks like all limestoney and cool.
You would guess when the ancient Nordic shaman who created this mask in the fiction. When that person made it, it was made, hundreds of years ago. And they just had a big old hunk of wood and a chisel. And they just sort of hewn that thing from a hunk of tree.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to, replicate that out of foam.
It's funny when you try and look up what because it's the mask is based on a comic book, obviously. And I'm trying to find what the mask from the comic book looked like. Because this is, for whatever reason, I'm remembering that the movie was super faithful to the look of the mask, if not all the other story elements around it, but the mask itself was a dead-on reproduction from the comic book.
Oh, interesting. I have a memory like that too. Somebody touted that as a big deal with the thing at the time.
Yeah,
I remember being surprised it was based on a comic at all because I just couldn't imagine what that comic book was like, but that was kind of before my indie comic love days, so now it kind of makes sense to me that you could make a story like this, but I'm trying to remember if I liked The Mask, the movie I mean.
Well, it introduced us to Cameron Diaz.
Yeah.
That was the first thing.
Yeah, that's true.
First thing I remember her being in.
Yeah, she was very young in that. I think I remember feeling like they... Well, okay, look, you hired Jim Carrey, right? So you know what you're going to get. You're going to get a little bit of a freak out, and it's not going to be the subtlest of performances.
No, exactly.
And then once you're cool with that, then it probably all comes together in a better way. Look at you using a soldering iron to create these grooves.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
That's so rad.
A huge part of selling the look on this thing was the texture. So it's got this really deep it's kind of an unrealistic thing, but a really deep wood grain. Yeah. You could get this with real wood if you age it and hit it with a wire wheel and just sort of carve away at the softer wood in the wood grain. But I did it, like you said, just with a soldering iron or a wood burner. Wood burning,
fantastic.
Yeah. Thank you. The wood burning tool I got has several different shaped tips. So I used a broader one to carve just a few really deep wood grain lines into it. And then I used a pointier tip for the wood burner to create more subtle wood grain texture in there, and that's to give it a little bit of variety, mix it up a little bit, and I think it worked pretty well.
Hey, can you?
Did you?
Oh, go ahead.
Did you use the same technique when you did that mask from? Was it Far Cry? That the wooden just straight face mask.
Yep, that was the Judge mask from Far Cry.
Thank you. Yes.
Far Cry New Dawn.
Yep.
And I did the same exact thing. I like to seal my phone before I paint it, so I have some control over the surface texture. And I used a PVA glue on this, and I used a chip brush, which is not a very subtle brush, but I used that on purpose to intentionally leave texture in that PVA glue that I use to seal it. So it added a third layer of texture to the surface, and then when you go to paint it, especially when you're doing washes and stuff over it, that gets caught in that texture, and it really adds a lot to it.
Yeah, that is so cool.
So the whole thing got sealed and painted. It's meant to look like wood, but it's kind of like a green mossy look. And then the nose piece there is meant to look like bronze. So I used some bronze paint and some turquoise paint to make it look all oxidized, which is how it looks.
Had you intended from the very beginning to do the inside as well? Like that was just always going to be a plan? And
the reason why in the movie he looks at the inside and it like shimmers with magic.
Oh, right, before he puts it on, right.
I wanted to try and pull off something similar. I have this color shift paint, a purple and blue color shift paint. So I put a little bit of that on the inside of the mask, and it does have a little bit of this cool shimmer. It's not as obvious in the movie. They probably CG'd that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be able to do that, so I carved that texture in both the front and the back of the mask. Yeah. It took a while, but it was worth it.
That is something else. That's one of my favorite things I've seen. I wasn't expecting that. When you first said the mask, I went, oh, all right, well, foam mask, this will be interesting. But no, this is way cool. And that wood grain alone makes me want to... everything's better when it's aged and cracked.
I just want to rub it and touch it.
Yeah, it feels good.
I think that's why, we're finally back to where Star Wars is supposed to be. Everything's dirty. Everything's grimy and got a little bang up to it instead of these shiny ships from the freaking prequels. F that business.
Yeah, I like this piece because it feels a lot like an artifact, Like I put it next to my Mist book because that feels like this ancient artifact that was unearthed. Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe one
of these days you're going to have just a prop museum that people can pay money to like walk through and see and enjoy. And I'll be one of your first customers.
Yeah, awesome. Well, my office looks a lot like a prop museum right now.
Nice. You just gotta put up ropes and get some OSHA stuff going, and you're good.
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
Well, check it out, you guys. It's over at punishprops.com, and of course the YouTube channel as well. If you're not already subscribed, then what the heck are you doing? Bill, any bonus links for us today?
Absolutely. One of my favorite YouTubers put out a video. He hasn't put out a video in a while, talking about ClickSpring. He's been building the Antikythera mechanism, and he recently put out an update, which is very exciting for me. If anyone else is into ridiculously old school machining, he's recreating a mechanism that was found in a sunken boat a long time ago. Yeah, this ancient mechanism. And he's trying to make it using more traditional techniques.
It's how we shut all our pirate doors with these hinges. Yarr.
Yes.
Cool. So a lot of welding and brass and
machining. He uses pitch to secure pieces together temporarily. Like he's going all old school on this. It's really cool.
He's a nerd.
Wow.
Look at this. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. Oh, look at all the little tiny bits. See, I love tiny stuff. This weekend I was watching a TikTok channel I follow that does nothing but miniatures, like miniature recreations of stuff, and it's actually pretty exciting what's starting to happen on TikTok. People are doing way more of Bill's level of stuff, and it's not just dancing girls.
Less dancing and singing horribly.
I guess it depends on what your algorithm is, but I get mostly creative stuff now. But this guy's making like tiny little rice cooker that can actually cook rice, and it's the size of like
but only one grain at a time.
Yeah, it's like 2 or 3 grains in there. It's so cool. I love little recreations of things. I think it's so cool.
Wow.
And something about him working on that machinery and reminded me of that. But anyway, check it out. It's again, what's his name? There it is. ClickSpring on YouTube. Bill Duran, thank you so much. Have a fantastic week, and we'll see you one more time before Christmas.
Alrighty. Take care.
Bye now.
Bye. If they ever put a If they ever put Fargo on TikTok, would you just explode?
I'd lose my mind. Maybe I need to be the one to do it.
Maybe you need like little minute-long Fargo episodes by Scott Johnson.
My daughter is doing like a 30-part dog training TikTok thing. This actual vet trainer guy does nothing but dog training videos, and she's following that. It's weird how that thing's evolving.
You can actually use that for good?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. It's not just stupid. It's got more stuff than just. It's got plenty of stupid. Trust me.
The stupid hasn't gone anywhere.
Yeah, if y'all want some stupid, I got good news for you. All right. Major spoilers. Coming up.
So much to talk about today.
Oh, yeah. We have no shortage.
Steven.
All right, Steven Schleicher, we've been holding you in a holding tank, a cryogenic freezer for how many days now so that we could talk about all this stuff that got announced from Disney and freaking Marvel and Star Wars and everything else. And it's been hard. I have not enjoyed waiting this long to have a true discussion on the show, but I'm really glad we waited for you. How the heck are you?
Oh, good. Hello, Scott. Hello, Brian.
It's good to see you.
Hello.
So, Steven, this must have been it was a huge day for everybody. I remember my feeds were like just overwhelmed with just
I know. I'm shaking my fist. So just so everyone knows, I own stock in Disney. I also own stock in AT&T and Apple and whatever else. But I didn't get my link to the investor relations link for the whole thing because there were actually some things that they showed to investors, like when they were showing like the title screen of some of those things. They were actually showing investors a different thing.
Yeah.
So there was the public thing, and then there was the investor thing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
You have to invest at a certain level. You must be this. You must be this invested
my
ride.
shares of Disney do not get me anything.
I wonder if D23, because the D23 folks got to see anything.
I think they're directly tied with Disney, so I don't think it's just a fan site.
Yeah, I think so as well. So, all right, we're not going to talk about.
Where shall we start?
Well, let's not start with the Turner and Hooch series. Who cares, right? Like nobody cares.
We don't care about live action Pinocchio, and we don't care about Peter Pan. And
I am kind of interested in Chris Hemsworth hiking around the world.
For
Nat Geo thing they're doing.
Nat Geo, yeah.
Yeah, that looks interesting. So there's actually a lot I want to see there. But as far as what else is happening? We mentioned earlier in the show, we may as well mention it again. The FX, which is now roped into the Disney family, announced that they are doing the very first series adaptation of the sci-fi horror classic Alien, which is now in development, and Noah Hawley's in charge, which is a huge deal, and we're very excited about that. Anything to add to that in Alien news, or anything you knew about that we didn't?
The only thing that I will add is, surprisingly, ahead of this investor announcement, like 2 weeks ago, Marvel, which of course is owned by Disney, and Marvel Comics, they announced that they were going to be doing new Alien comic books.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that we're going to see a big Alien push going forward. Marvel previously had announced they were doing Predator stuff, and now we're getting Alien stuff.
Yeah, it's a big whoop. Like that stuff those are huge licenses. Well, I mean they own the licenses, but it's a huge move to take those to TV. And I'm feeling pretty good about them doing that, but also feeling pretty good about having Hulu these days, because that's where all that stuff's going to live. Anyway, let's get to the Star Wars stuff and talk about that. There are a couple of things we can get out of the way early, which is we knew Obi-Wan Kenobi was happening. That was already a thing. However...
Yes, but the big thing was the Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader, which I don't know how that's going to work, because at the end of episode 3, which was technically episode 6, he's all cut up and bleeding, and they put him in the mask and everything, and then he turns into James Earl Jones's voice. So I don't know how they're going to get him.
He's going to take his mask off all the time and act and be like,
you think so?
DoorDash brought me the wrong French fries. No.
They could definitely do a Pedro Pascal in Mandalorian and just have him come in and do all the voice work.
Yeah, why not? That'd be fun. I don't know how I feel about the Hayden Christensen thing, but I think I find it to be a little bit more authentic, perhaps, to have him there, given this timeline, because we're talking about, him, Obi-Wan Kenobi after after the Clone Wars, everything went to shit, and he went in hiding for a while, and whatever those adventures are. Like these are the right people to have involved. So
for sure. And you've got both McGregor and Christensen. So
God,
how can it go?
And I have no problem with Hayden Christensen. I like him as an actor.
Yeah, he's fine. He's fine.
I don't think he's horrible. He's in one of my favorite movies of all time, Jumper.
Oh, I like Jumper. Jumper's great. Jumper's
a lot of
great.
people hate that movie.
I
but
like that
like
movie. I'd have a good time in that movie. So screw the haters. There's nothing wrong with Jumper. If Jumper's dumb, then so is every other superhero movie about people with powers. Okay, so if you don't like that, then go away. All right,
like what you like.
Yeah.
So we knew about Obi-Wan Kenobi, right? But there were a couple of other things that were announced that were kind of a surprise to everyone.
Yeah.
The first one was Ahsoka, which is the continuing adventures of Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka Tano that we saw just a couple of episodes ago in Mandalorian. So her appearance was kind of that backdoor pilot that everyone talks about. The other one that was a complete surprise, I think, to everybody was Rangers of the New Republic, which both of these take place during the time period that The Mandalorian happens. And Rangers of the New Republic, I believe, and I kind of want it to have Bitter Asian do, Paul Lee from Kim's Convenience as one of the starring roles in this.
That'd be great.
But this is going to follow the backwater, the Outer Rim pilots as they try to restore sanity during this time period.
Right, but still, both series you've mentioned, Ahsoka and this, are both set in the Mandalorian timeline, so it's all kind of happening at once.
And also Filoni and Jon Favreau
are executive producing and probably writing and probably directing episodes.
I don't know if you noticed this.
That's a magic formula.
I don't know if you noticed this, Stephen, but the best episodes of this year, I think, were the ones directed by Filoni. That guy is so good. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I don't know. I think last week's or this most recent one with what's his name? Fukiyoshi.
That was also
the
really
guy who
good,
did Dope. He wrote and directed that entire episode.
That
so
was really good
was
too.
Really good.
Yeah, they're all good. I don't want to. I'm nitpicking here a little bit. The Robert Rodriguez one is one of my favorites as well. I loved that one. I mean, that's if you all didn't think a certain character from Star Wars lore, just in case someone hasn't seen it, wasn't already kind of a badass, your minds have been fully swayed to that direction. I cannot believe how cool they made him. And I thought that was impossible until then. So
Obi-Wan, Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, then also coming Andor. These are all coming to Disney Plus, right? So Andor follows the adventures of our Rogue One crew before things go down. So we'll get to see the return of Firefly's Robot Man, and we'll get to see that other guy that I always confuse with Pedro Pascal.
Diego Luna.
Diego Luna, yeah. So isn't it mostly him and that B6 robot? Like none of the other people are in there because they haven't met yet. Yeah.
Already announced and we knew was coming was Star Wars: The Bad Batch, which is a spin out of the Clone Wars series that final season that we just watched like not even a year ago that everybody really got a kick out of.
Yeah. And this is the clone troopers that go off and just like, we're going to go hang out on our own planet for a while. And
they got they had some genetic defects.
Right.
So you've got one that's basically Rambo. You've got another one that's like a tech guy, and all these other ones. So that you've got that. And then
when they're all clones, you've got to basically come up with something that can make them.
Give them. And they did a really good job during Clone Wars to do that.
Yeah.
We're also getting Star Wars Visions, which is let's give the Star Wars universe to anime people and have them animated up. I don't know if this is the same thing or if it's a expansion of. For those of you that watch the Disney Channel, they do these things, interstitials in between shows that are just like, here's Luke doing the trench run, but it's all in anime stuff.
Oh, right.
And it's like, but it's already existing storylines that they've reanimated.
Yeah, so I don't know if Visions is going to be that way.
Will we get a crossover Star Wars WandaVisions at some point?
Well, considering that took place in a galaxy a long time ago, far, far away, maybe,
because things hop around in that.
Yeah, and it's all owned by the same company now. So we also are getting Lando, which we don't know anything about that, except that I believe it's going to be a finite series, meaning it's going to be like 8 episodes and that's it.
Yeah, it's a special series. And if they do that, I think they have a pretty good chance of getting Gambino in there to do it.
I think so.
And that's the guy to get. Do not drag out freaking
Billy D. Williams.
Don't. I'm okay. I'm just going to say something. Maybe it's controversial. I don't know. I said it on the instance the other day and I got a little bit of heat for it, but I really, really disliked the way that they used him in the last movie.
Oh, yeah.
Just terrible. It was the most. It was just way too fan servicey for no reason. They didn't really give him anything to do, and what they did give him to do was creepy and weird. He was just weird. So don't do that. Get freaking Donald Glover in here and do it right. That's
they're gonna. Here's what I understand is that he will be involved in this. At the beginning of every episode, there's going to be some young Jedi in training that are running through the Jedi halls, and they stumble across, Billy D. And he's going to say, let me tell you a story about when I was younger. And then you get
Is that true? Are they really going to do that?
Pass me that 40 ounce can of malt liquor. And let me tell you a story about when.
Yeah, they should call it Lando, what have we here, is what it should be.
So it's basically the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles with Lando.
I have no idea.
Yeah, we don't know on that one. They haven't given any real details, which is, I don't know, that's interesting. As a limited series, they have my interest, but it's not the one I'm the most stoked about. What do you know about Visions? What's Visions? Star Wars Visions.
Like I said, that's the anime one.
Oh, that's the animated one. Oh, for some reason I had that mixed up with the one called... not Bad Batch, but there's another one.
Well, Bad Batch is also animated. The other animated movie or show that we're getting is A Droid Story, which is basically.
That's what I'm thinking of.
I don't know if it's a continuation of that R2D2 C3PO droids animated series from back in the day, but it's going to be cartoon animation.
Okay. All right. That's the other animated one I was thinking of, and I couldn't remember. But what's interesting here, and I just don't want to skip over this too fast before we move on to the next one, and that is that we have entered into an era, whether you know it or not, or noticed or not, that changed things fundamentally, and that is this. Most of the time, historically, if there was ever a really big movie franchise and or film, you didn't have... If you wanted to move something to television, like MASH or whatever, you might get one actor, Gary Berghoff, okay? He came over. But for the most part, you didn't bring the same people over. That just wasn't done. TV was second tier, so you would do a very different format, and you'd have new actors do it. And it's
Lou Grant didn't take anybody with him when he went to move from comedy to drama.
Right. Well, yes, but I mean, I'm mainly just talking movies to TV.
Movies to TV. Okay.
Right, and those actors never really do it. Limitless a few years ago, sure, what's his name came and hung out for a minute, but it was about passing the torch.
Very briefly, yeah.
But that felt like a stepping stone to what we're getting now, which is. Just look at this Marvel lineup. Just look at these other lineups, and this freaking Obi-Wan Kenobi is a weird example of this, where the original actors are all from the films are all continuing this on. So Captain America and Winter Soldier, or Falcon and Winter Soldier rather, WandaVision, like this stuff's
part of that.
It's nuts that it even is happening.
Well, I think part of that is something that happened I want to say maybe started about 10 years ago, where screen actors who would never stoop so low as to get in on television stuff started seeing, there's great opportunities to do stuff on television. So we are seeing a lot of these stars that are super willing to come to streaming, that are super willing to come to television series now.
Yeah.
And I think that's a positive.
Because back in the day, it meant if you were doing this back in the day, it meant you were going to be relegated to like Battle of the Network Stars.
Oh yeah,
yes, exactly.
Yes. And that's what I think. A lot of the
he used to be in movies,
but
now he's in TV.
Yeah.
The last one that we haven't mentioned is The Acolyte. I know nothing about that one, but these are all things that are coming to Disney Plus. Obi-Wan, Rangers of the New Republic, Ahsoka, Andor, Star Wars The Bad Batch, Star Wars Visions, Lando, The Acolyte, and A Droid Story. And coming to theaters in 2023, Patty Jenkins will be directing Rogue Squadron, the only Star Wars movie that has been announced for the next 4 years.
Yeah, a lot of people are really pumped about that. What do you know about lore in terms of where they're going to pull from? Because the old books had a lot of, that's the origin of all this, I think. There were video game spinoffs and stuff, but the Rogue Squadron stuff was like Wedge Antilles, right? And
I think honestly, I have no idea where they're going to draw from this, but it wouldn't surprise me if we have Wedge and Biggs in this thing.
Because back in the day, that stuff, well, not back in the day, it was a number of years ago, that was all relegated to non-canon. But they're picking and choosing, right? Like they're like, hey, what if Thrawn is cool and we can still do Thrawn things? And so it seems like they're going to just take what's good and leave what's not, and that's fine with me.
When you say back in the day, I know you're thinking like 10 years ago, but that was like 30 years ago.
The books, yes. I just meant when they bought Star Wars and said, hey, sorry, all your books are non-canon now, and everybody got mad.
Yes.
But anyway, that's so exciting.
If you want more Lucasfilm, they did briefly talk about Indiana Jones and a new Willow movie, if anybody cares about those things. But those seem to really be pushed to the back burner for all of this stuff that they were announcing, because they really are pushing this streaming media. I want to talk a little bit more about that in a minute when we're done talking about Marvel.
Okay, real quick here. That Willow movie he's coming back.
He is.
Is it a movie or series?
Warwick Davis is coming back?
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, I believe it is a movie.
Okay, is it a movie? Okay. He's back as Willow, and we don't know anything else about it. Weirdly excited about that because I'm not a fan of the original Willow at all. I don't know why I'm excited.
Ears are burning.
Yeah. Oh, Ron Howard. His ears are always burning. He gets in the sun and he gets immediate sunburn. That's just
he
kind of
just
his
crisps up as soon as there. He has to keep the shades closed.
Yeah, you think he wears that hat just to cover that bald spot? Mm-mm. It's to protect him from the horrible rays of the sun. All right, so there's all that. Real quick, just to mention they did a kind of what's coming up from Disney, Pixar and stuff. They got a Baymax series, Zootopia series, Tiana series, which is based on the Frog, Prince and the Frog, or Princess and the Frog rather, and then a Moana series.
All coming to Disney Plus.
Yeah, this is a lot of content for their streaming service. Turning Red is a new movie Pixar is working on, and then they also did a small reveal for Disney Pixar's Lightyear, which is a story of supposedly the character that the toy is based on.
Yes.
And Chris Evans is doing the voice of the character. So Tim Allen not in this.
Right.
But it's supposed to be like a space adventure with the guy who Buzz Lightyear is based on. Which sounds super interesting to me. Yeah. I'm into this.
The weird thing is some of the stuff that's been released, I haven't seen. I know somewhere there is a picture of the character Buzz Lightyear floating around the internet if you can find it. Not the toy Buzz Lightyear, but the one that's going to be in this TV series.
Right. Yeah, it
looks
really
pretty
great.
cool.
It looks pretty good. All right, let's jump over to Marvel for a second. We got your WandaVision.
So we know about all the stuff. So WandaVision comes next month. So for everybody,
from tomorrow,
a month from tomorrow, we will be able to watch WandaVision, which is important because then that spins into Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, the upcoming Spider-Man 3, which I still am going to say is home for the holidays, and a whole bunch more.
You think that'll be the title?
That's the one that I think, just because of my whole European vacation thing from the last week.
That's hilarious. I hadn't thought of that. I can't wait till the Vegas one, the fourth one. That'll be amazing. All right, so that's cool. When Falcon and Winter Soldier are scheduled for when? Is that later?
I think it's March, isn't it?
March 19th.
So it's like every other month, I believe, is when we get a new Marvel series. Okay. And this is really smart by Disney. Same way with Mandalorian. You know, the next season of Mandalorian, it ends next week. We have to wait till next December before season 3 arrives.
Jeez.
But that's okay because we're going to get all this other stuff in between.
Yeah, that's true. It's been such an amazing season, though. I just really gonna miss it. But if this quality carries through to these other series, to these Marvel projects, like Disney Plus is starting to seem like a really rad place to be at the moment.
Yeah.
Especially, and I know the price is going to go up in
sign
March.
up now.
Aren't they going up to $8 in March or something?
They are, and that's what I wanted to talk about because I ran some calculations. Right now, they're at 88 million subscribers a month. So $1 means that every month they're making $88 million right now.
Yeah.
Or just over $1 billion a year for a 12-month subscription.
Okay.
Their goal is to get to 240 million subscribers, somewhere between, like, I think they said 230 and 260. But let's admit, 240 million subscribers is not that hard to get.
Right.
Even if they keep it at $1 extra, that's something like almost $3 billion a year that they get to make just from that $1 increase in subscriptions on top of the regular subscription price. And I guarantee you next year, they're going to up the price by $1. They're going to up the price by $1 for the next 4 years. They're going to end up making billions upon billions of dollars for subscriptions. And people are wondering, how are they doing all this Star Wars stuff? How are they doing all this Marvel stuff? This is how they're doing it. Just by this $1 increase, they have paid for 2 or 3 seasons worth of Mandalorian.
Oh, weird. That's a crazy way to look at it. For all of us, it's like $2. For everyone, for them, it's. I mean, do you think Bob Iger wipes his butt with 20s? Do you think
Bob Iger's not in charge anymore? Remember that.
Well,
Bob Iger.
He came
I
back,
don't know
right?
if he's.
Didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he came back for part of this, but he's not the one that's technically in charge. It's the theme park guy.
Oh,
and
right.
I just kind of feel that Bob Iger was like, saw COVID coming, saw the theme parks getting ready to shut down. Is like, I better get out of here before my job's on the line. Move the theme park guy up. And now, Disney's riding high, and I think he kind of wants back in.
Well, he is technically still executive chairman and chairman of the board, so.
Oh, okay.
That's a major position. And at this conference, he spoke. He
did speak a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Him and that guy you mentioned, Bob Chapek, who's the new CEO. So it seems like Iger's still sort of hanging on. And so I'm just going to assume then maybe it's $50 bills, but he's wiping his butt with money. That's what I'm saying.
I bet he is. Yeah. He might be. You never know.
Very well might be. All right.
So we already know all about. Hawkeye and Loki and Shang-Chi and Doctor Strange and Blade and the Eternals and Thor: Love and Thunder. Although Christian Bale. Christian Bale was confirmed as the bad guy for Thor: Love and Thunder.
Really?
Yep.
That's an awesome crossover.
We don't know who he's playing.
No, he plays Gore.
Oh, okay, we do know. Oh, the God Killer?
The God Killer.
God Killer.
No way, dude. I'm stoked for that. That's great.
The God Killer.
We saw a new trailer for Falcon and Winter Soldier. Yeah. We saw an extended trailer for What If. All of these things had previously been announced like 2 years ago at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Coming up, we have Armor Wars. Don Cheadle returns, which is going to be interesting, to basically tell that Armor Wars story from the comic books, which not my favorite run of Iron Man, but okay. The Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, which apparently, while they've been doing this third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, they wrote and shot this holiday special at the same time.
I love it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I really want to know what that is. I want to see that really bad.
We get an Iron Groot.
We get the Groot family, and they celebrate Life Day, and B. Arthur comes on and teaches us how to make Groot burgers.
Secret Invasion, which we kind of knew was coming. And this will be, I believe, also Disney
Sam
Plus.
Jackson.
With Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
Really?
So again, all this stuff except for, let's see, Thor, Shang-Chi, and
Did you talk about
Doctor
What If?
Strange.
Did you talk about What If? Whatever the animated What If
Yeah,
thing?
What If is based on the What If series from the, what is it, like the 70s, 80s?
70s. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where Marvel is like, what if Peter Parker wasn't bitten by the radioactive spider, but instead it was Dr. Octopus? And so they'll say, okay, what would happen if that was the case? And so in this one, we get to tell a bunch of those what if stories.
That art is awesome. I love the art style of that.
So it's such a great mashup of 2D comic art and normal 3D stuff.
Yeah, it looks really cool. So I'm weirdly, that's the jump out, the underdog for me of excitement is that thing.
And that'll come out this year. I'm pretty sure that's coming out this year. I think they have
next year. Next year.
Oh, is that what it is next year?
Well, 2021.
2021. I'm already thinking ahead. The cool thing about What If...
Nothing comes out this year, Steven. Nothing.
I forgot. The cool thing about the What If is all the actors are reprising their roles in the voice actor role.
Oh, yeah, right. That's what's
so
cool.
If you like
and their
Peggy
faces,
Carter,
their likenesses
if you
are
like
all
her,
in there.
Yep. They'll pop in there.
Who doesn't like Peggy Carter?
Nobody,
I know, right?
Nobody doesn't.
Well, apparently ABC, but...
Wow, bum.
Yeah. All right.
We are also getting... so those are the movies. So I mentioned the movies. The Secret Invasion, I believe, is a series. We are also getting Ironheart as a series. So Riri Williams gets to step up to play the next Iron Man. She actually is somebody not even connected to Iron Man in any way, shape, or form, except that she gets the plans for an Iron Man suit in the comics, and she builds a better version of Iron Man, and so she becomes Ironheart in the comics. This is like 4 years ago, I want to say, is when this series came out.
So that's
we're seeing
that's
that
a
coming
comic. I'm sorry, a series. I didn't know that was a series. I thought that was a film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
cool. We've got some more movies.
I had no idea about that. I didn't even know anything about the character until she popped up in Marvel Strike Force last year. I'm like, oh, okay, here's a new character that I don't know anything about. Cool.
Yeah, a lot of I'll just put in quotes, those people complained about Ironheart because they're like, oh, this is just forced diversification, and that's all Marvel is interested in. But really a well thought out character. And really, honestly, with Tony Stark gone from the Marvel universe, spoiler everybody, this was the next logical step to do something with an Iron Man character in this form, Ironheart.
Yeah, I'm all into this. This is great. I can't wait. I don't know much about her either. I was gonna ask Brian, but it sounds like she's new to you as well. I have no idea what to expect. So this to me will be like, brand new content, no expectations. I don't know what to think about it.
Right.
And then they teased something, right?
What's that?
Didn't they tease something a little bit crazy at the end there? Like,
oh yeah, we'll get to that in just a minute.
Okay.
We're getting a Captain Marvel 2. Which has already been announced.
Okay.
And we're getting Ms. Marvel. So for everybody who's been playing that Avengers game and you get to play Kamala Khan, guess what? She's getting her own movie coming up in the next couple of years.
That was cast too, right? We know who she is.
That's already been cast. They showed a sizzle reel and everything.
Yeah.
Looks really good.
Yeah.
So that'll be a lot of fun. Then I don't know. I think that was it, Scott. I think that was the last thing that they announced at the deal.
Yeah, that was all. They didn't talk about any other things.
They have nothing else that they wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't mention, before we get to that one, She-Hulk you didn't mention, right?
Oh, She-Hulk, yes. And what's her name?
Tatiana
Maslany has been confirmed as
Black.
Yes.
Oh, that's great.
She's really got to bulk up. I mean, she's really gonna have to put on some muscle.
What do you think of that?
I'm curious about that.
Did you say
they're going to do a Mark Ruffalo on that?
Oh yeah, Mark Ruffalo will be on there, right? That's the deal.
Yep, because you know how they capture Mark Ruffalo's appearance in the CG Hulk.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're not going to do that with her and do both the Jennifer Walters and the and She-Hulk kind of that same way.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
probably.
Maybe
but we're getting Tim Roth back too from as the leader.
The Abomination.
No way.
Or, I'm sorry, the Abomination. That's right. It was the other guy.
It was the other guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou.
Yeah, who's the leader?
They didn't say anything about him, but it would be.
No, I want him. Tim Blake Nelson. I want Tim Blake Nelson.
Yeah, dude. We thought he was a toad. That'd be great. Bring him in.
Yeah,
that's right.
So, did you mention Blade? I don't know if you did.
Yeah, we didn't mention Blade. That was one of the things that has already been previously announced. They announced that 2 years ago at Comic-Con, but there weren't really any updates on that.
Yeah, I want Blade back real bad.
Oh, I know what you're thinking of, Scott. I know what you're thinking of is the other big news.
Yeah.
They did announce the next Ant-Man and the Wasp movie, and its title is going to be called Quantumania.
Oh,
Quantumania!
Yeah, so I think we're going to see the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, the next Spider-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp, WandaVision. All these things are going to be dealing with, and even the What If series, these alternate realities and jumping between dimensions. So, hey, we might get to see Miles Morales pop up in a live-action movie before too long.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Right.
And
I think that's it. That was everything that was announced.
All right, so there was nothing. There was nobody made out of rocks. Nobody stretched a lot.
Invisible.
No.
Nothing.
Oh wait, there was this little thing. There was this little thing that people may be aware of, Hawkeye. I'm really interested in this because if you haven't read that Hawkeye series from 3-4 years ago now,
good.
It is really good with Pizza Dog and all of these things.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah,
that is a really good series. Yeah.
That logo looks like that. It's that treatment, that graphic.
It is totally based right on that comic. So it's going to be really good.
That's really exciting to me because that's
so many fantastic things coming out from Marvel in the next couple of years.
Yeah. What's Moon Knight?
Moon Knight is the other one that you were thinking of, Scott. Right. Like I said, so many fantastic things coming out in the next couple of years from Marvel.
I mean, there's probably four
some
more
of them
fantastic
we know about,
things.
some of them we don't. Like some of them, they just showed a stupid logo.
Right. It's the stuff they don't care as much about. It's probably a smaller production or whatever. But there's this one with a big fat 4 on it. What do you know about that? What's that?
Apparently they're going to do a Fantastic Four movie. Nobody knows anything about it. It's coming probably 2024.
Okay. Well, that makes sense, right? Do it in 2024. That'll be a wonderful year of horrible political nightmares and the Fantastic Four.
Oh God, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, can we let's just enjoy the next 4 years, can we, and not even think about 2024?
I have a new goal, but we'll talk about that on Thursday. I have a new goal.
If I'm not mistaken, they did announce. Did they not announce the director of the Fantastic Four movie?
I thought they did. It's going to be the guy who did Spider-Man.
Yes, that's it. Mm-hmm.
Far From Home guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like him. He did a great job. Oh, yeah, there it is. And also, what do you make of all this stuff with all these guest stars coming back that used to be in old Spider-Man things that are all coming to be in the new
That is interesting.
Spider-Man
Now,
thing?
the only one that we know of that's semi-confirmed, remember when the guy who played the Shocker popped up, and everybody was like, oh, yeah, and the rumor was that he was going to be in the movie, and people are like, him?
Django.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden we find out that the guy from Raiders of the Lost Ark is now also going to reprise his role as Doc Ock in this movie. And then all of a sudden everybody, I mean, here I'm gonna officially confirm Scott and Brian are returning for Spider-Man 3.
Oh, sweet. Well, you throw me the
I'll
idol.
be there.
I'll
I'll be there. Sure.
Yeah, I'll be there. No problem.
At the theater.
It pays good. So yeah, that's a weird thing. It's really, I mean, it's funny. The internet ran with it, but it's like two people that might be. They're rumored to be.
Well,
maybe
but
coming
then there's
back.
also the rumors that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to pop back up, that Kristen Dunst is going to be there, and all these others are starting to pop back up, which kind of, again, if we look at Multiverse of Madness, WandaVision, What If,
Kirsten Dunst. You mean when you say Kirsten Dunst, you mean Peggy Blumquist? Is that who you're talking about? Is that who you mean?
I guess.
I've been watching
Is this a Fargo thing that I'm missing
I've been watching
out on?
a lot of Fargo.
When you get a new hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah. When she's a season 2 veteran, she's amazing. Amazing in season 2. That's where she met her husband, Jesse Plemons, who are now the cutest couple in Hollywood as far as I'm concerned. Little dumpy little white people with their cute little baby. They're just amazing.
Fat Damon and
Fat Damon and Mary Jane. Anyway. All
right.
right.
So it looks like Marvel is really going to be leaning heavily into the multiverse.
All right. Well, I'm into it
for the next 4 years.
And
so
that
none
of this
means that
includes Spider-Verse 2, right? We don't know anything about that from Sony.
No, they didn't talk anything about that. Of course, that's Sony. So Disney would not be talking about Sony at this.
Right.
So if people are popping up and saying, "Hey, here's what we know is happening in Spider-Man," wouldn't have happened at their investor relations meeting saying, hey, everybody, go look and see what Sony's doing, because Disney wants people to invest. And in fact, the investment went sky high. This was over the weekend, or Friday morning. The stock prices for Disney hit an all-time high for the last 5 years.
You know, if you could give me the power to resurrect one human being and say, come look and see what happened to your company, I would do it with Walt Disney and his body. I would raise him from the dead.
I wouldn't.
And I go, hey, Walt, and he'd go, well, hello there, son. What's going on? And I would just show him everything that's happening and just freak him out, and then put him back in his coffin after a day.
Yeah, it'd probably freak him out, because he would be start throwing out some anti-Semitic terms. And
look at all the Jews!
Look at all these union jobs.
Wait a minute, Iger? Isn't Iger a Jewish name? Like, you'd have all his freak out moments? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
He came
Put
from
him
a different
back in
time.
the ice
Maybe
chest.
can we just cyborg him or something like that?
I mean, I'm just saying, how many cartoonists, whether you like them or don't like them, how many of those guys can you name that created this level of legacy? And you know, a lot of that's out of his hands, but that brand is, it's insane where that's come.
Mm-hmm.
Just insane.
Same way with former Pixar guy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's still some issues there. Anyway, this is a very exciting time to be a fan of all of this stuff. And I've heard some people say, don't get so excited because this is too much Star Wars. We're all going to be sick of it. And I say to that, let it suck first before you start saying that. Like, if it's going to suck, fine. But we'll give it a minute, and it's going to happen. And if it sucks, fine. You can hate it.
So the other thing to keep in mind is this is stuff over the next 3 years. Yeah. Okay, from 2021 to 2024. So the other thing to keep in mind is that some of this stuff is not going to be targeted towards the main hardcore Star Wars fans. I guarantee you a droid story is going to be aimed at kids.
Yeah.
It's not going to be aimed at the grown-ups.
Yeah.
So, and even if we only get 1 or 2 per year, remember how when Netflix was going high with the Marvel stuff and everyone's like, well, this is too much Marvel on Netflix. And that worked out just fine. Yeah. Once or twice a year, we got a couple of Marvel things. That's how the Star Wars is going to go. That's how the Marvel is going to go every other month going forward. And that's how Disney is going to make sure that people keep their subscription so that they can make that almost $4 billion a year coming 4 years from now, because that's how they're going to fund all this stuff.
Yep.
They're notice that all of the quote unquote movie announcements that they made were really downplayed compared to everything going to Disney Streaming Plus. In fact, they did announce a couple of movies that were skipping the theater completely and going right to the streaming. Even though HBO Max kind of stumbled and blumbled when they made their announcement, Disney's doing the same thing. They're just getting everyone on board ahead of time.
Well, between those two services, I've enjoyed, call it stumbled or whatever, but I'm enjoying HBO Max so much that between that and Disney Plus, I'm this close to saying, oh, $17 now, Netflix? Maybe I'll put you on hold for a while. Like,
yeah, right.
It's tempting. Like, if I didn't have Film Sack in my life, I'd probably do it. Because
there's a crazy series that just dropped on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's called Alice in Borderland. It's a Japanese series that Netflix original, but it's based on a manga series. And if you like the movie Battle Royale or you read the manga Battle Royale, this is it, but with a games mentality, like not video game mentality, but games mentality, the like figure out which door you're supposed to open kind of stuff.
Right. That's interesting.
So it's kind of violent. I burned through the first season, half of it last night. It's kind of violent, but if you're into those kinds of things, that might be something to check out. But yeah, Scott, I'm kind of agreeing with you. If I had to whittle it down, it would probably be bye-bye Apple TV until the next Ted Lasso, and bye-bye, I don't know what else, Amazon Prime.
Well, Apple's been very smart. And by the way, their app on the Xbox Series X is awesome. The Apple app on there is great. Holy crap, really? I didn't expect that. We've been watching all their stuff on there, and it looks their encoding is really good. But anyway, they made that so easy to not get rid of now with this whole Plus membership thing. They've
Apple One, the whole right bundle.
Because if you're already getting music, which I do, it's like, well, I'm basically paying now per month what I was paying for music alone, and now I'm getting arcade and TV and something else. And
I know that there's a thing on Apple TV that either you or Nicole is going to recommend in the next few weeks.
Yep.
As I saw a preview for, I'm like, oh, this has Scott and Nicole written all over it. It's a race.
I think I know which one you mean. Carter and I are going to binge that thing. But
yes, Carter especially.
So that they made that choice easy for me because it's less than I was already paying. But in the case of Netflix, for them to just say, hey, this week that Disney Plus went crazy and announced the whole world is coming to your doorstep for $6 a month, maybe $8 soon. How about we charge you $17.99 for the plan you're on? And I don't know.
Was that an increase or a decrease? I forget.
It's which one?
The Netflix one.
Oh, it's an increase for sure.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it went from 15. Well, so if you do the 4-screen plan, which with Ultra HD, 4K, and all that, it's like $15 a month, or it was.
Yeah.
Until this changed. Now it's 17 something.
Okay.
So I went and knocked it down to one screen, or I knocked it down to the one screen deal. All of it went up. All the tiers went up, I should say. And I'm just annoyed by it. It's not like it's a ton of money or anything. It's not like it's not that they don't have value. I just feel like it's really tone deaf, and they do this more often than anyone else. They just keep upping the price. So at some point they're going to price themselves.
But they also are the largest streaming service.
That's true. They can do it. They can get away with it. But I think they need to be careful, dude. I think they got.
Yeah, I think you'll probably see them slow down quite a bit. But they're also the ones continuing with the most productions right now.
That's true. It's such a weird world now. Such a weird TV time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
speaking of TV, and since I usually come on and talk about comics, here's one for you, Scott.
All right, go.
You're a fan of this TV series, The Expanse.
I love The Expanse.
I had to drop it midway through the first season, and I've tried multiple times to get into that.
Oh wow! Wow!
Oh, that hurts.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have to take this in. All right, go ahead, but tell me more.
Here's the thing. This week from Boom Studios, it is The Expanse #1. I think it's a 4-issue miniseries that takes place between seasons 4 and 5.
Oh, I'll read this.
That drops on Wednesday, so you can go get it on Comixology. Not with Comixology Unlimited, but you can get it via Comixology or at the comic book stop. Those kind of things.
Yeah, I'm in. I love The Expanse to the point that I would read extra peripheral junk like this. Totally. I'm in. Okay, I'm glad you told me that. I'm downloading that today. Is issue 1 hits today?
No, you can't download it today. You have to wait till Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday. Okay. So Wednesday I will get it, and The Expanse is amazing, and you're crazy for not watching it all the way through.
I've tried so many times. I just lose so much interest by the time it gets to something about the Indian, what is she, the president of the planets or whatever?
Oh, she's so good.
And
she's so great.
They're getting ready to,
whatever it is.
they're getting ready to haul her out with the choppers and everything, and I was just like, you know what? I just can't get into this anymore. I've tried so many times. Every time we talk about this guy, you're like, Steven, give it another chance. And I sit there and I'm like, okay, well, I don't remember what was going on, so let me start at the beginning. I get to that same point every time, and I'm like,
yeah, I guess.
Damn it, I'm out again.
So. I guess so. I don't know. I loved season 1, and I liked everything. And last season was incredible. Gosh, dang it, 4 was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
So I could not be more excited about. This is some of my favorite sci-fi in the history of the genre. I just love it. Love it. I love the books too, and I only read 2 of them. I should read all of them, but I got.
Well, now you got a comic book to add to your.
Now I got a comic book. All right, good recommendation. Any comics Brian should be reading this week that he would love?
Brian should be reading this week, coming out since he's a Marvel guy.
Yeah.
Coming out this week from Marvel Comics, of course, we have. That's Image Comics. Sorry, Black Cat #1 comes out this week. Let's see what else comes out this week. I thought there's probably some more in the King in Black.
King in Black
thing is probably coming out. There's probably a couple of spin-off series coming out from that. But let's see. Probably the biggest one is probably Black Cat #1. That's the one that has the most variant cover. So I'm guessing that's the one they're pushing the hardest. Oh yeah, there's King in Black Immortal Hulk #1 comes out.
I like Immortal Hulk a lot.
Yeah.
Might be a good one for me as well. I love that series. Although I'm kind of on the wait 3 months till they're out sort of mode.
That's kind of where I'm
Spider-Man
at too.
King in Black #2 comes out. So there you go. You've got a couple.
I'm kind of the same way. It's like, all right, let me see what else is on Marvel Unlimited, and I'll get to those in 3 months.
Yeah. If I was caught up on everything Marvel ever did, then I'd be more concerned about the more latest stuff. But right now it's like, oh man, there's so much there that I'll be okay waiting a little bit. I've also found myself looking for certain writer-artist combos in a way that I usually don't. That's weird. That's new for me because I usually don't categorize that way. I usually just like, oh, the latest whatever, let's read it. But now I'm like, I really like how he draws. I really like how he writes. So I'm just going to find those two guys, and hey, if they meet sometime and do one together, even better. And that's something I'm not used to doing. But I'm getting more picky about the art. It's weird. Anyway, well done, as always. Always good to talk, Stephen. We knew we'd go a little along with you today, but that's totally fine. Yeah. Lots of great content. If you want more coverage of all of the things we talked about, plus more shows and all sorts of stuff, check it out at majorspoilers.com. Steven, anything else you'd like to mention before you go?
Yes, we have been talking so long. It's very important to remind everyone to stay hydrated.
Oh, yeah, I got water right here. I'm going to do that. We'll see you later. Here, Brian, look, I got water. I'm just going to sip this.
Very good. I don't. I took them upstairs and I did not bring them. I filled them and I did not bring them back down when I brought down my coffee.
Well, darn it. Okay, we have to play something very important here at the end of the show. Jamie, a.k.a. TMS Mashups, put together 2 Ender files that basically end the year. The best of 2020.
Ooh.
For you and me. All right?
All right.
I guess this week it's me. Next week it's you. This is all meant to happen right before the end of the year.
This is the best of Scott.
This is the best of Scott. Now, whether...
Enjoy this one because the best of Brian will not be as good as the
I
best
doubt
of
it
Scott.
very highly. My guess is you sing a lot, and that always makes me laugh. I'm very excited about whatever is in yours. However, this apparently is all me. So, this is the best of Scott Johnson 2020.
Why does it say mute YouTube?
I have to mute the video that I post to YouTube because YouTube will bidding us for this. Even maybe Twitch will, but I don't care. I mean, they'll just mute me, so I'm not that worried about it.
Okay.
So here goes. I'm going to pause. Best of the year, I guess.
Yeah.
That was what you get. So now you can kind of get an idea what Brian's will be like. It'll be some of
No
the stuff.
kidding.
By the way,
freaking Liam O'Brien.
What? I didn't
Let's
expect
not
that.
gloss over that. Holy cow.
Holy crap, dude. I had no idea. I talk to Liam every other day, and he never said anything. He's the most tight-lipped. He knows how to do this because he does voice work in video games and movies and TV and stuff. And when he does that, he has to live by some strict rules about, not telling anyone anything. So he's a pro at not telling me anything, and he didn't tell me. I had no idea. That was great. So, Liam, I know you're listening. You're the man. Thank you for that. He claims our show means a lot to him. So I cannot believe Jamie got him to do that. Jamie, you're some kind of wizard. You're a wizard. All right. Can't wait for next week. We'll hear the best of Brian Ibbett for 2020. That'll be next Monday, celebrating the final waning moments of 2020.
Right. Can't wait.
Okay,
Can't
Brian.
wait.
That was awesome. All right. And I have resumed the YouTube thing. So sorry, YouTubers, you missed out on some really good stuff, but I guess the music was super copyrighted.
Go listen to the podcast.
Yeah. So do that.
It's free. It's free.
Yeah, it's free.
It's free.
Popeye?
Like Popeye.
Popeye.
I know. It barely said it like that, but yet we both go Popeye. Like
Can't
Popeye,
help it.
right? Like
Can't help
Popeye.
it.
Not Popeye?
You've ruined me on that thing so bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, in the meantime, head on over to frogpants.com/TMS and see what you want over there. There's a link to Jamie's stuff, so you can go find him at TMS Mashups on Twitter. We're at Morning Stream, Scott Johnson in Coverville, and we'd love your emails as well, themorningstream@gmail.com. I think that's going to do it. Tomorrow's a new day. Got new stuff. Before all of that, though, we should probably leave with a song from Brian Ibbett.
Yeah, this one goes out to JD, who says, "Hey guys, just wanted to hear this song on the show. You guys introduced me to Bear Ghost, among others, and I love them. They did a few Christmas song covers, so please play one. Anytime in December is good. If that's no good, then you can unfriend me."
Oh, we haven't played that in a while. Should we do that? Unfriend. Oh, how do I...
How do I do?
Did I ever record him doing that? Or what did I have him do that we always laugh at? Shit.
Oh, I don't remember. The jury... Yeah.
Here, I'll play this for fun.
No, I mean, I guess...
There you go. That's what you're getting.
There you go. That's all you're getting.
That's all you're getting.
Yeah, this is brand new from Bear Ghost. They just created a new EP. Just dropped it. They just dropped it, is the way to say it. Just dropped a brand new EP called Invited to the Christmas Party by Mistake. It is Bear Ghost. We've played them on the show before, and they're awesome. Here is their cover of Louis Armstrong's "That You, Santa Claus?"
Oh my gosh,
Going
that's
out to
fantastic.
JD.
Yeah, we'll check it out. Congrats, JD. Everybody else, thanks for listening. And, well, JD too. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for listening.
We'll be back tomorrow with a bunch of new stuff. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I really went hyper diaper.
Oh, there's both words making
Hyper diaper.
Yeah.